The waiting room at the dentist had this strange rule that every patient just went along with. Dr. Pell made each person, kids to grandparents, fill out a little card before they're cleaning and write down their biggest worry about the place. Not feedback, not requests, worries. And here's the odd part. She never answered, never wrote back, never asked a single question, just read it, gave one small nod, and called the next name. I first ran into this during my second visit to the office. The front desk lady, Carol, handed me the card and said fill it out before you go back. No reason, just write down something that bugs you. I figured it was a test. Maybe she wanted to see if new patients would be polite or if we'd actually say something bad about the place. So I wrote this careful, soft little worry about the chairs in the waiting room being too hard. Walked back to her room, sat down, she looked up from her tray. What's your worry today? The chairs out front get really stiff after a few minutes, and my back starts to hurt while I wait. She looked at me for about 5 seconds, gave one nod. That was it. Next, please. I left totally confused. What was the point? Over the next few months, I saw it happen to everyone. People wrote down everything you could think of. Cold rooms, old magazines, scratchy music, long waits, weak coffee, loud drills. Dr. Pell just read each card with the same flat face, never wrote anything down, never promised to fix it, never said why she was doing it. People started getting silly. A man named Greg wrote that the fish tank only had boring fish. A woman named Tina wrote that the soap in the bathroom smelled like a hospital. An old guy named Roy wrote that the parking lot had too many speed bumps. Still nothing. Dr. Pell took every goofy worry with a totally straight face. It turned into this weird little game. Who could write the most ridiculous worry that she'd still read without even blinking? 6 months in, I was getting annoyed. This whole thing felt like a giant waste of time. I decided to just ask her, filled out my card, and walked back, ready for a fight. My worry is about these worry cards. I don't get why we do them, and they seem pointless. For the first time ever, she smiled, reached into a drawer, and pulled out a thick binder. Pages and pages of notes in her own handwriting. Every worry written down by date and how often it came up. In the past 6 months, 247 people complained about the hard chairs, 156 about the cold rooms, 89 about the long waits, 67 about the weak coffee. She flipped through more pages. Your fish tank worry shows up 23 times. The smelly soap one shows up 34 times. Even the speed bump one came up 8 times. I was shocked. She'd been remembering every word, writing it all down after each person left. But why keep it a secret? She stood up and walked to the window. When people think their worry just vanishes, they tell the truth. The second I start answering or writing things down in front of them, they start saying what they think I want to hear. This way I get the real stuff. Not what people think should bug them, but what actually does. Over the next month, everything started changing. New soft chairs out front, the heat turned up, fresh magazines, better coffee, even nicer soap in the bathroom. But here's the clever part. She never said the changes came from the cards, just made things better and let people think it was random or just an upgrade. People got way happier. They started believing their dentist really cared about them without ever knowing their little cards had caused every single change. The cards kept going, but the worries got smaller. Instead of big stuff, people started writing tiny things. Dr. Pell fixed those too. Always quietly, always with no fuss. 2 years later, her office had the most loyal patients in the whole town. People were switching to her instead of leaving. At her retirement party, Dr. Pell finally told everyone about the cards. People were amazed to learn their little worries had shaped every change for the past 3 years. The new dentist tried to keep the cards going, but made the mistake of writing notes right in front of people. Within 2 weeks, the worries turned into polite little tips about office hours and waiting times. The honesty was gone. Last month, I switched to a dentist closer to my house. On my last card with Dr. Pell, I told her the new guy wasn't getting the same honest answers. She pulled out that same thick binder, now totally full. Every dentist has to find their own way, she said, closing the binder. Mine worked because people trusted that their worries would be heard, but never used against them.